Hi guys, and welcome to an almost personal I'm doing here for whoever needs it. Long story short, I'm in the mood for doing tarot, but I can't do all signs. I'm not in the mood for doing the quick readings. I like to do the in-depth readings. I just did one, but that was a surprising outcome, so I'm doing another one and I'm doing this more intuitively. Which I did before as well, but it brought me into another direction. Alright, so let's just get started. Take what you want from it, leave behind the rest. Never ever force it to fit if it doesn't. Okay, let's do some shuffling here. Let's see messages for whoever needs it. What are we starting? What's the first question we're gonna ask? That's basically what are we talking about. Give me the theme. We're gonna look into what we're talking about. You, your past, present. It's the theme here now. And coming up, whatever messages pop through. What are we talking about here for you? Alright. What are we talking about for you? It's the same place I'm being brought to. It's the same place. Okay. Okay, I get it. Oh, okay. I know I sound crazy, but it's just, yeah. Here we go. Three of Pentacles. I'm being brought into this indecisive energy of, can I see the truth? I know the truth, but do I really want to see the truth? Do I really want to see the truth? Okay, show me. Give me. Five of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. No, not come up underneath the deck. The Five of Pentacles is an energy of feeling like outside. It's the moon in Taurus. No, it's not the moon in Taurus. It's Mercury in Taurus. Sorry. But the Five of Pentacles is... It is an energy here of being in lack, but then not really. Not really. It's the experience of being in lack. It is looking at yourself in ways where you look at everybody else and you don't feel as though you have enough. And that may result in you not feeling that you are enough. We do have a teamwork here. I keep getting it was the same energy I got in the other reading. There's something here about a contract with no commitment. That of giving of engaging in some sort of formal relationship, so to say, where it is that you agree that there's not going to be a long-term outcome. But it's also agreeing in many ways to situations where you may actually sell out a little bit of yourself. Meaning that you agree to do work or certain activities that are actually not for your higher good. But you feel as though you don't quite know what else to do. What else can you do? That's what I got there. Well, let's pull here. So that can be, for instance, if you are in a state where you feel as though you don't have another option than to agree to be Mr. or Mrs. Go with the flow even though you know deep inside that it would be better for you to have something more stable. But you have to live off this way. It's basically a little bit like working as a consultant, even though you would like to have a different form of employment. And why? Because we can always talk about it being like sex relationships as well. But let me give you the consultant example. For instance, when you work as a consultant, you work, day-to-day basis. You work. You also work under particular norms where you can't really say anything. You can suggest. You learn to speak like bloody politicians, because you are not allowed to tell people what to do. You can consult in ways where you basically give a. It's like working as a politician, because the way you consult is not saying anything directly. So, but yeah. You work day to day, whereas if you have a long contract, you're more secure. But it can also be that of feeling as though you have to agree to be in a relationship in ways where the other person has the upper hand. Like, I don't know what kind of commitment I can give you right now. I can give you little bits here and there. Meaning that we will sleep together, I will spend time with you once in a while, but I can't promise you any kind of commitment, and you really want the commitment, but you don't feel as though you have any other. What else can you do but to agree with this? Well, there's a lot you can do. You can start by saying no. But then what we have is a culture. When this becomes a norm and it's okay to treat people like this, they can just throw you out on the cold and then go and pick someone else. It's the use mentality, it's the use culture. Be it in work, be it in love, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, guys. It's the fast food culture. It's the materialistic culture. It's the spoiled brats. Alright, what do we see? What do we have here? We have sacred and strength. Let me read you the sacred. That is a half-torn. That is a. This is a deck I haven't used for a very long time, and I haven't gotten that familiar with it, so I'm getting the book. But half-torn, do you see that? Half-torn is right there. That half-torn, I call it, because I can actually look at that word. Well, that's the way it's spelled, and it's right from Danish. Half-torn. That is fawn of the ocean, if I translate it completely directly. Hawthorn. Hawthorn. I can't really say it in English now that I got it here. Well, let me get it. What is? Oh, there's a lot of it to it here. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna read it, then you take what you want from it, right? Blah blah blah. It's a group of various plants, include bushes and trees. Yeah, I keep being thrown by the ocean every time I get these readings for you guys today. Anyway. They can be used in salads. Yes, they can. We can also make it to make alcohol. Anyway, traditional medicine, jam, alcohol, vitamins, medicine. Here we have all about it. A lot of pectin. All right. Half-torn is in the Free of Beltane, a holiday celebrated the 1st of May, and a time when it is said the seen and unseen world meet. Focus. It's sacred, right? It's a very sacred quality. And it is sacred in the sense because of what I just read to you here. It is a holiday celebrated the 1st of May. It is a time when it is said that the seen and the unseen world meet. That makes it sacred. It's alright, do you really want to go into all the philosophical here? It's the time when the seen and the unseen world meet. That makes it sacred. Alright, let me read for you. It plays a strong role in many folkloric tradition and considered a tree sacred to the fairies, as well as being the wood of choice for the witch's broom. There are many historical accounts and depictions of fairy queen emerging from the bush. Holy shit. Blah blah blah. Setting of choice for god-centric rituals performed by female practitioners of Druidism. Among the traditions associated with the hawthorn is the belief that it is bad luck to cut down a hawthorn or disturb its branches. When cut freshly, hawthorn gives off a scent of death due to the chemical tryptophan, which is present in both hawthorn blossom and the decaying animal. Okay, this is beautiful. Anyway, blah blah blah. Something about May here, right? Anyway, In tradition to standing in the threshold of the unseen realm, the tree has in fact long been considered a portal. The oracle of the hawthorn is sacred because of its prominent place in magical tradition and the legends of lore associated with it. How does the word sacred apply to your life? Your value system can be sacred. It helps you create a hierarchy of importance and place emphasis on whatever is most valuable in your life. Personal rituals, objects, spaces can be another aspect of this oracle property. Creating a sacred space for yourself, either by meditative practice or physical objects, is an important part of self-care. When I pull this together with what we have in the other reading as the outcome, there was an energy about a little bit OCD almost, where someone becomes a bit too attached to some sort of an object. They can't go anywhere without this object. It is something that can be, I have seen in people who are dealing with grief, where they carry with them, but they're carrying with them some sort of an object from the person they lost, and they will crash whenever they don't have this object with them. This is not it, I was just talking about it, because if it was all about that item, when it's like you feel naked without the item. You attach something to an item. But right, well, let's get back here to what we have with the sacred and the Five of Pentacles. Could you please just give me something easier? It's a very difficult thing to explain here. It's, oh my god, it is feeling like you are on the outside. People can do crazy things when we feel as though we are abandoned, when we don't feel as though we belong, because we are basically affected on our need to belong. And then what happens is that we gather in other communities. It's almost human, unless you, like, in general, it's a lot of people will then gather into forms of communities where they feel a sense of belonging in whatever way. But here I also get this mindfulness regarding which kind of communities you then go into, because there are unfortunately people who prey. They prey on sadness. Alright, let's see, what else can you give me for this? But the sacred is... what the hell? The sacred is... sticky keys. What the hell is a sticky key? No. Sacred is a very... It's an energy here in which we take something that almost seems out of reach to us. It's out of reach, like it's sacred, right? You know, it's not sacred, it's out of reach, it's celestial, it's outside of our body. Then we have a sacred ritual in which we kind of connect to it. And in that ritual we come to feel a sense of belonging, or whatever energy that's here. Show me more connecting energy. Empress, guys, you gotta be careful. Okay, you gotta be careful here. No, you gotta be patient with me here, because this is not an easy energy. I thought it was going to be easy. This is not easy. We have the Empress as what is associated with it. Is it love? What is sacred to you? Why do we keep getting this Judgment in the reverse? What is sacred to you is something in the past that you haven't fully released, or they haven't released you. What is in the past here is probably a lost opportunity for you, but for them, they really care about you. That is insane. Something that was a lost opportunity for you, which makes you feel like you are on the outside. That you are you're abandoned. Whoever abandoned you cares about you. And there's unconditional love in this situation, but it's being rejected. I want to do a third one where I want things to be easy. This is... Alright, forget it. What happened in the past for you to come here in that 5 of Pentacles stage? 10 of Cups in the reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. That's being around people who you don't really align with socially. You may socially not have been speaking their language, if you know what I mean. This is actually a very significant energy to deal with. I was talking, it's all my anecdotes. Yes, I talk with a lot of people about absolutely weird things. This was someone who works with, long story. But he was telling me about how, no, can I even say that? No, I can't. So, alright, let's see. I'll give you an example here about 10 of Cups in the reverse. 10 of Cups is in the reverse. It is the energy here about not really fitting in. Having social distancing almost. No, but having this... Yeah, it's a distance between people in terms of how they communicate, how they relate, how they accept each other for who they are. We accept each other for who we are as different people. For you, I feel as though something here came towards you very fast, which is a quick decision. I feel it was... Some of you could have been very quick. I'll say it like that. But I still get there being the right decision made in the past. So you tell me, but I just see you being at a loss here. But in that loss, I see your understanding of what is sacred to you growing. What really means something to you? What is important? You may not have that much... Oh, so funny. I was in the chat room here an hour or two ago, where we talked about this. Like, it's not really that about how much money you have. Well, for some it is, but meaning that you can be broke but not broken. You can have, I don't know if you ever tried it, people just, if you are, for instance, not the most wealthiest person, you unfortunately find yourself surrounded by a lot of rich people, and they look at you because you're broke, you must be broken, and you can look at them and go, I may be broke, but you're the one who's broken. But meaning that I see you chase all this status, all this wealth, and in the meantime you can sit there in your minimalistic ways and think, you know, I have enough. I met a guy once, and I remember when I looked at him, he was like, how can you live for so little? And he looked at me, he said, you know, he told me about the way he had grown up and what he's seen. He was a 70, no, he was young in the 70s, let's say that. He was an old hippie. And he just said, you know, I realized a long time ago that what I need is what I have here. I don't want to chase all of this and that. He's seen it all. People fall from grace as well. It's like, I just need this. And I'm fine. He had a nice life. So what we hear here in the past for you? Outstanding personal achievement. Yes, I see that, but I see people not agreeing with you. And then we have physical changes and a catalyst connection. Some of you are changing the way you look. Someone here could have... You're making changes. You're taking better care of yourself, probably. Some of you are losing weight, by the way. Hopefully not because of a burnout. I almost want to give up on this reading because it's just way too complicated. I just see some of you probably making changes to yourself. But is it for the right reason? What's going on in your reality here? Knight of Wands in the reverse. It's in and out. It's in and out. There's some of you. Do you have like this devotion to an idiot? To an idea? To... I don't like this. Alright, I'm gonna do another one because this is a reading I have done so many times. This is making yourself available to an idiot. This is making yourself available to a fuckboy, fuckgirl, because you feel a strong soul tie. You become dedicated, probably also to the idea that they will be long term, but two people are not seeing eye to eye. There's a lot of breadcrumbing. Not even in a lot of arguments. People don't even argue, they just abandon it. They ghost each other just to avoid the argument. Then they sneak away and they come back. They continue to come back, but they are emotionally unavailable, and it's such a toxic tie. And then we have another situation coming up in the future. Someone better, actually a lot stable. Yeah, but you're not gonna want it. Hell no, you're not gonna want it, because guess what? The other energy is still here. The other energy from the past is still here. The past still lingers. We gotta look into this Judgment in the reverse. This Judgment in the reverse has been a stalker. I want to stalk Judgment in the reverse. Forget that. Show me the Judgment in the reverse. You know what? What are you here for? What message do you bring? Oh, you bring a message about there being a broken heart? Of course you do. What message do you bring? Oh, let me protect my deck here. What message do you bring? What message do you bring? I hope you get some more from my crazy readings here. It's just sometimes I'm surprised by the stories that come my way. I'm surprised by them. But then again, I don't know who I'm reading for, do I? I know it may be an energy that I recognize as something that played out in my life ages ago. And I'm like, what the hell is that here for? Well, it may play out in someone else's. In different ways, of course. Show me here. What are you about? Ace of Cups in the reverse. Not a lot of love to keep this situation going on. It's about moving forward without seeing any fantasies here. Free party situation. Someone's being a dickhead. Running away with something. The dog agrees. That was the 5 of Cups that popped out. What is this more about? 3 of Swords. Yes, it's a third party situation. It's just not being spoken. Again, saying no, moving into something calmer. You being at risk of being dedicated to an idiot. It's the only way I can say it. Being dedicated to an idiot is when you continue to give up your energies to have something grow in a situation where it's not gonna grow. Where you don't want to see this third So Three Swords there. You don't want to see it, so you just ignore it. You just ignore it. You don't want to face it. It's almost, if it's really, really rough, because that could happen when it is that we are at a stage of grief, even pre-perceived grief. I don't know. I'm not an expert here, right? But I'm just giving you what I have of wisdom without it being the expert. That is when it's like a coping mechanism. When we are thrown out of it, when we don't want to lose, you want to hold on. You know, it can happen also when you know someone hears something. You don't want to lose it. So you fall into like infantile coping mechanisms, such as, if I just pray 3 times a day, then everything will be magical. If I just leave these berries out here in front of the fairies, then the fairies are going to make things right for me. It's actually, we kind of, in order to deal with the complexity, we take away the complexity from ourselves. We leave it up. We give it up to something higher. We give it up to higher power, so we don't have to deal with it, because it feels too heavy. It's too big of a burden. It's too much of a responsibility to carry here. And then I don't know. That doesn't something. I don't know what happened. What triggers it when it comes to love situation. There's probably fear. The idea of losing this person. The idea of losing the happiness you have here is so overpowering. So you can fall into these behaviors that are rather irrational, where it is that you make sacrifices, you make it sacred, you make rituals here as a way of coping with the turmoil that's going on within oneself. But it's such a grey area here. It's a grey area. It's I guess it's because there is something very calm, very peaceful about releasing that control. Well, it's just a matter about, because when we release control and say, I give it up to higher power, or I give it up, if it will come, it will come. There's a lot of, you release yourself from the need to control everything, you need to know everything. You release yourself saying, I can stay here in the ignorance, or I can stay here not in the ignorance. Well, it is a little bit. But it is, I can stay here without knowing, because I don't need to control it. And in that case, you find so much release. So you're not always living in the future, because you're not always living in the future. Always have to worry about the future, and that releases the level of anxiety, right? And then there are where you are so afraid of what will happen in the future that you're gonna lose. I think that's maybe what we have the triggering here, right? When you have nothing to lose, it's easier to live in calmness and give it up and say, if it comes, it comes. But if you have everything to lose, that's when you then become chasing, right? Then you give it up to higher power, but it has to make sure you don't lose. Where if you don't have anything to lose, then you can't lose. You can just gain, right? It's actually a shift of mindset here. I give it up because what else can I lose? I mean, I can only gain from here. Or I give it up because I have to maintain this. I have to get it bigger and bigger. I don't know. In this case, it might be you giving it up because you don't want to see something negative. What's coming back? Now, where's the present situation in addition to this? Not really being in your right mindset here. Not really seeing things clearly. Here we have the Queen of Cups. Well, alright, underneath it, you guys are so twisting it. Being happy but not being fully happy. But then I have this is not you. Then there's this Queen here. There's this Queen. I would love to say that she's you, and then maybe she's you, and then this is an energy that's just associated with you, right? Because when I pick up on this Queen, she's not there. This is the Queen that I was expecting for you to pick up on. Here we have her. She's walking away. She's saying no. She's patient. Huh? Well, she's actually a little bit the opposite here. I keep getting that somewhere out there, there's a Queen of Cups. She's just stuck in between something. I don't know if she knows this. But she is just... She's almost like stuck in the middle of a situation she doesn't know she's stuck in. When I pick up on her, she's actually very like, alright, let's go. I've got it. And then there's another queen. Here we have two other queens, right? I mean, come on. Oh my god. So many women. Alright. What is your role in this? Three of Cups in the reverse. Can you show me more? Queen of Swords. And there we have King of Swords. You have some sort of a new beginning. You have lost... Oh my god, this is like a yo-yo. It's up and it's down. It's up and it's down. Right, so you have some sort of a new beginning here, right? Although you are surrounded by miscommunication, although you are caught in a third-party situation, you're the Queen of Swords, so I see that you're not really there. The Queen of Swords doesn't get caught up in three-party situations because she has no one. Even though we have a King of Swords underneath here, these two are divorced couples. They are a divorced couple. They may have a child, they may co-parent, and that's it. She's not caught in the third-party situation of her ex-husband or ex-wife because she has better things to do. And that's you. I feel as though you stand your ground and then again no. Something here may come towards you very, very quickly and you will forget to keep up your guards almost. Alright, what is it that's coming back here from the past to you? What's coming back from the past? Ten of Wands in the reverse. With the Nine of Cups in the reverse. Not something you would like to come back, that's for sure. Something you already let go of. You already released this. So you're not focused on it anymore. Alright, so you're probably stuck in a third party situation without you even knowing it. Seven of Swords, yeah. Oh my god, I just got this. I hope no one is using you as an excuse to get out of their own shit. And then they're saying, but this person, this and that and this and that. And you're just sitting here, what? Somewhere completely different. And you're part of this and you don't know you're part of it because it has nothing to do with you. But you're just being dragged into it. Ten of Wands in the reverse. What's coming back to you is something you released. I got this here, that someone has a situation going on in their own life where they don't feel seen, they don't feel yeah, they don't feel seen. There was this that they worship, no, not worship you. Maybe they keep yours sacred or something like that. Maybe someone here has something of yours. And it's sacred to them because it has your energy attached to it. And whenever shit goes down in that situation they have going on, they are attached to you. Okay, I am about to leave this reading because this is insane. What else can you tell me about that judgment? What can you control and what can't you control? What can you control here? King of Swords, what can't you control? What can't you control? Nine of Wands in the reverse. Two kings there. What you can control is it honestly feels like this is your ex-husband. Something like that. Ex-husband, ex-wife, but ex-wife is whatever I got here was like what you can control is how you co-parent or how you how you exist in a partnership with someone. Your relationship to them. It's nothing about you what they have of relationships going else on everywhere. If this is like your person you're co-parenting with, what you can control is then the co-parenting relationship. And then we have two kings here. Shit. This is your masculine energy, how you move forward. What you can't control is the Nine of Wands in the reverse. God, you can't control how someone else is hurt. You can't control how someone else allows themselves to wait around for something. I don't know how this is tying up. I don't know how it plays it together. Something is coming towards you very, very quickly. It will feel amazing, like home. It's coming back. That's all I get. It's coming back. Something is coming back. I have tried for 2 readings now. Something is coming back. Why is it coming back? Strength in the reverse. Six of Wands and Four of Swords. I'm also curious about to see how the hell are you going to respond when it comes back. Because I see it coming back with a small communication. It's coming back. This energy is coming back. Because they don't have strength. They need to be seen. They need to be seen by you. Why? Is it because they need to be worshipped by you or what? What the fuck is going on here? Shared experience and seeking recognition and know your narcissism. Yeah, that's... They need to be seen. They don't exist if they're not seen. They're not enough in themselves. They can't find validation within them. They can't recognize themselves. Oh my god, they have an empty shell. Probably. Pro-social opponent? Okay, probably. Compliments. Originality. I don't know. What is up with them? Why do they need to be seen? They're not happy. Right, they're not happy. They have an empty shell. They are not in contact with their core. They can't recognize themselves, so they need you to recognize them for themselves. They can't reach themselves. It's actually very sad. Not that I would deal with it anyway, because this is exhausting. It does tie up to that narcissistic energy without it being, I don't want to deal with that, but it does tie up to that in that this energy is attached to a person, right? They need to have someone seeing them and validate, and recognizing. They need to be recognized. So it's far more of a masculine energy. They need to be recognized. Can't recognize, they can't connect to themselves and their own core. So they feed on everybody, on someone else here, and they need you to see them so they can feed. You decide for yourself what you want to do with this, okay? You decide for yourself. I'm almost in the mood of trying to do another one just to see if I get something else. But let's see. Let's take an experiment. That's what I have for you. Take care. Ciao.